Hello everyone, welcome back. You are watching the Data Labs. My name is Dilip. This is the last part of complaint management system in Excel and VBA. In this tutorial, we are going to write the code to resolve the pending complaints and transfer the data from pending to resolved. Okay, so let's move to the complaint management Excel file. And this is the file which we created in the previous parts of this tutorial. If you have not watched the previous part, then I would recommend you to watch the tutorial starting from part 1 to part 5. It will help you in understanding the VBA code which we are going to write in this tutorial, that is part 6. Okay, so let's jump to Visual Basic application window. So to do that, just click on Developer tab, and that is already selected, and then click on the Visual Basic like the icon available in the code group. Okay, so let's click on Visual Basic. And now you can see that we are in Microsoft Visual Basic for application. And in our last tutorials, we have covered like designing the FRM complaints, and then resolves, and we inserted one module and have written several procedures and functions to handle all those like the functionality which are required to transfer the data, basically to raise new complaints and to show the summary, as well as to link the worksheet with the pending. This is LST pending complaints list box, and again LST resolved complaint list box. So here we have almost covered this part of section. Now the pending part is to write the code so that whenever user will click on any of the records which is is available in the pending list, then it will open the FRM resolve FRM resolve, basically the resolved complaint form with the required data like date, employee name, the employee who is working on that particular complaint, and then customer name and customer email. And with the help of this form, user can submit the data. It means can resolve the complaints basically. And once user will submit the data will get transferred from pending complaints to resolved complaints, and that will be deleted from the pending complaints because that will not be the part of pending, right? So let's start with coding. So first of all, we need to write the code on the double click event of pending complaints, the list box basically. So let's double click on this. Just double click on this. So now you can see that LST pending complaints underscore click event, the sub procedure has been inserted, but we need a double click event. So let's keep the LST pending complaints object as it is, as selected from first drop down, and from next drop down, that is for event, let's select the double click. So here you will find double click. Okay, so now we have a new sub procedure for double click events. So let's delete the previous one, that is click event. And now we need to write the code so that it will open the FRM resolve form along with the required data, basically the selected row. Okay, so let's write the code. So first of all, we need to validate whether the row number on which a user has double clicked has some data or not. So okay, so if that particular record has no data, then we will not proceed with opening the FRM resolve. If that particular row will have some data, then we will open the FRM resolve window basically. Okay, so to do that, let's start with conditional statement. So that if and me dot LST pending complaints. So here me is referring the FRM complaints. Okay, so you can write FRM complaint dot LST pending, or you can write me dot LST pending complaints. So both will work. Okay, so here if me dot LST pending complaints dot list. Okay, and again we need to refer me dot LST pending complaints and dot list index comma 0. So if that will be blank, then exit sub. So if the first cell, it means the first row, the selected row, and the first column basically for that particular row, the value is blank, then we are just coming out from this this sub procedure. It means we will not proceed with the rest of the codes. So if like the data will be available for in that particular row, then we need to proceed with other code. So let's start writing. So before performing anything here, we just need to open this form and load it into memory. Okay, so that we can assign the value to the respective controls. And to assign the value to respective controls, we need to keep this FRM resolve in memory. Okay, so let's write the code. So we will utilize load and here FRM. Okay, simple. So FRM resolve. Okay, now as this particular form has been opened basically in memory, that will not be visible basically, so we can start referring that this particular form. So let's start with FRM resolve and end with. Okay, so we will write all those sentences between the with and end with block. So as we have several text boxes available on FRM resolve, let me show you. So like here, date, employee name, customer name and customer email, and this is the resolution summary. This is also a text box. So date and employee will be updated by system itself, like the today date basically, and the employee who is working on that particular complaint. And customer name and customer email will come from the list box, the pending list box, on which record like user has double clicked. So that will be from there. So and resolution summary will be provided by the user itself, and then user can click on submit. So here we need to refer, or like we need to update all this 4 different fields, and we will keep this blank so that user can feed. Okay, so let's move to the code window here. So as we are writing the code on double click, so we are in, let's start writing. So dot txt date dot value is equal to today date, right? So let's apply the Excel function here, today, and now we need to write, like provide the correct formatting. So formatting would be dd mmm and then 4 times y. Okay, so we have done with this. Now we need to lock this particular field so that user will not be able to make any modification. So txt date dot enabled is equal to false, so it will be disabled. Okay, now we need to write the code for txt employee name basically. So txt employee name dot value, and here we need to update the value that will be the username basically. So here we are going to utilize the environment function, so enviro environment, and from environment we need to fetch username. Okay, so this is the username, and again we need to log this because this is also being updated by system itself, so user will have no right to update this. So txt employee name dot enabled, and that will be false. So these are the two fields which will be updated by system itself. Okay, now we have two different fields like customer name and customer email ID, which is coming from the pending complaint list. So let's initialize that value as well. So txt customer name and dot value here. Okay, now we need to refer this the same line of a statement here like this one. So me dot lst pending complaints dot list, and from list we are going to refer we like the selected row. So selected row will be me dot lst pending complaints dot list index. So what it will provide, it will provide the selected row number from that particular list. And the customer name is available in the third column, so we need to refer we need to give here the column number is 2, because the column always start with 0, and that's why here we are referring the third column. So 0, 1 and 2, so 2 will be the third position. Okay, now again this is provided by system basis on the selection by user, so that's why we do not we are not going to provide rights to update this customer name, or so let's disable this. So txt customer name dot enabled is equal to false. Let's now we have additional field, that is customer email ID. So txt customer email dot value, is equal to me dot list pending complaints dot list, and we need to find the list item basically. So we need to provide here the row number, so me dot lst pending complaints dot list index. Okay, and now we need to provide the column number. So for customer ID, customer email ID basically, the column position is fourth position, so that will be, here we need to pass 3. Okay, now again we need to disable this particular field, so txt customer email dot enabled is equal to false. And now we have one more field, that is txt summary on dot value, so summary field will be blank. And now we need to show the form, because as of now the form is available in memory only, so let's dot show. Okay, so we have done with the code to open the FRM resolve form along with the required data, the default data basically. So let's run this form basically. Let's FRM complaint here, and as we have one record, let's double click on this. So now we can see that whenever we double click on this particular record, it is like here date has been updated, the today date basically. You can see here the employee name, which is provided by system itself, and here customer name. So you can see that customer name is coming from this the selected record in pending list, and the customer email dd@gmail.com, the same is coming from this. So all the 4 field are disabled, so that user will not be able to make any modification. Okay, now here user can feed any of the information and proceed with submission. So let's write the code to submit the data, basically transfer the data from pending complaints to resolved complaints, and again delete the data from pending complaints. Okay, so let's close this form, and again this one, and let's move to Visual Basic application window. So let's double click on submit. Now we are in the code window of FRM resolve, and this is the new sub procedure, that is for click event on CMD submit. So let's start writing the code. Here first of all we need to take confirmation from user whether user wants to submit your data or not, or maybe user has accidentally click on submit icon, submit button basically. So let's declare a variable dim msg result as VB message box result, and again in the same way, like msg result would be message box, and we need to prompt do you want to submit the data. Okay, and there would be 2 different button, VV yes and no, and plus as we are asking question, so icon would be VV question, and the title would be resolve complaint. Okay, let's close the bracket, and suppose like user has selected no, it means we need to validate whether user has selected or no or yes. So msg result is equal to VV no. So if user will select no, then we need to come out from this particular sub procedure. So then exit sub. If user will select yes, then we need to proceed with the other code, like to transfer the data. Okay, now the next part is to validating the input provided by users. So as we have 5 different fields, 4 are already logged and provided by system. So one field is for input which will be provided by user itself. So we need to validate whether user has updated the resolution summary or not. If user has not updated, then we need to prompt a message that this particular field is blank, please update the data, and then click on submit. If user has already entered the details, then we can proceed with the further course, like transferring the data from pending to resolve. Okay, so let's validate this. So it's a very simple if me dot txt summary. So this is txt summary dot value is equal to blank, then and if. Okay, so here we need to write like first of all me dot txt summary dot set focus, Okay, me.txt summary dot back color would be VB red, same as we need to highlight with red color, and then we need to show a message here, message box, summary is blank. So VB okay only plus VB information and then submit. So it will prompt an error message over here, like information message you can say, and here we need to come out exit sub. And now we need to write the actual code to transfer the data from FRM resolve to resolve worksheet basically, and delete the data from pending list box or pending worksheet. Okay, so let's declare three different variable. So first will be dim I row as long. So we will utilize this variable to identify the next blank row available in the resolved complaint worksheet, this worksheet. Okay, and now we need to declare a variable dMessage as worksheet. So we will utilize to refer the resolved complaint worksheet here. Okay, and we need one more variable, that would be dim lst row as long. So here this particular variable we will utilize to hold the current row, or like the row number which has been selected by user in FRM complaints on this particular list box here. Okay, so we have three different variables. Let's first of all, as we have already set the back color as red, so let's remove the back color red and set the white. So me.txt summary dot back color is equal to VB white. Okay, so now we need to set the reference for worksheet. So let's use the set keyword, set sh as is equal to this workbook sheets, and the sheet name is resolve complaints, resolve underscore complaints. Okay, so now we need to identify the next blank row. So we will utilize this variable. So I row is equal to sh dot range, and in range we are like referring the column number 1 A basically, and then rows dot count, so dot and here we are going upside, so Excel upside. So what it will do, it will select the last row number which has some data. Okay, and from that row we need to identify the row number, so it will provide the row number of non-blank row, and we will +1, so it will provide the next blank row. Okay, now let's start with the with and FRM complaints. FRM complaints are in this particular form, and .lst pendings, and here and with. So let's identify the selected row basically. So the row number which has been selected in the LST pending complaints. So LST row is equal to dot list index. So your list index will provide the selected row number. Now we need to write the code to transfer the data, that is like to update the resolve complaint worksheet. So let's move to the Excel window here, and this is the resolve complaints. So resolve complaints is starting from column A to column L. So we need to refer all this, and from column A to column I, all this data are coming from the pending complaints. So we need to replicate the same data here, and then resolution summary, case handle by, and case handle on. So these three columns will be updated by the data available on our form. Okay, so let's move to Visual Basic here, and as we are already referring this particular worksheet, the resolved complaint worksheet, with sh the object name. So let's sh dot range, and here range would be A, and then we have already stored the last blank row, so that is I row, so I row dot value. Okay, and here we need to replicate the same value, that is a date value. So we need to refer the the list box basically. So let's utilize format because it's a date, and then dot list. Okay, and lst row, we have already stored the row number and the date is available in first column, so that would be 0. Okay, here we need to pass the formatting, so dd and then y. Okay, so this is done. Let's copy the same line of code, and that will be for a complaint raised by. So again this data will come from the list box. So here just remove this, the extra code, and here we need to update the column number, that would be 1. So this is for employee name. Then we need to update the customer name. So let's replicate this. Customer name would be 2, and then customer email ID would be 3, and then country, then a reason for complaints, and then 6 would be priority, and then 7 would be VIP customer. Copy this, and 8 would be complaint description. So these are the same data which are available in our pending complaints. So let's change the column reference, so that would be B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and I. Okay, now we need to update three other columns like J, K, and L, which will be updated from this particular field basically. So let's double click on this, and let's copy the line of code and replicate 3 times, 1, 2, and 3. So here the column value would be J, K, and L. Okay, now we need to refer this FRM resolve. So this would be for resolution description. So then FRM res resolve dot txt summary dot value. Now here this would be complaint handled by, so that we need to update the username. So FRM resolve dot txt employee name dot value, and here we need to update the date, like case handled date basically. So FRM resolve dot txt date dot value. So we have done with the updating the required details in resolve complaint worksheet. So here we need to write the code to delete the pending record from the pending complaints worksheet, this particular worksheet. Okay, and as list index always start with the 0 for a list box, and row number always start with 1 in a worksheet. Okay, so and also in our pending complaint worksheet we have a header section. Okay, so we are consuming one first row as a header section, that is not the part of a data. So it means we need to increase the LST row by 2 to match the row basically. Okay, so what we will do, we will add LST row, we will refer LST row plus 2 to refer the actual row number which is available in the pending complaints, and then we will delete that particular record. Okay, so let's write the code here. Here we need to refer the worksheet that is the pending complaints. So this book dot sheets, and that would be pending underscore complaints dot rows, and here we need to lst row plus 2, okay, and then entire row dot delete. So now we need to refresh the row source of lst pending complaints and the resolve pending complaints, basically both the list box. So as we have already created a different module for that, so let's move to module here, and let me show you. So this is the, we need to call this particular sub procedure. Double click and let's call, and this one. Now we have done with the refreshing the list box data, basically. Now we need to unload this form. So unload me. So what it will do, it will close the FRM resolve. Okay, let's move to the FRM complaints and then run this form, and let's let's work on this particular. So let's double click on this complaint and let's put it's done, okay, and let's click on submit. So it's taking confirmation. Do you want to submit the data? Yes. And now you can see that I think we need to refresh the summary as well. So let me close this form, Visual Basic, and we need to call the initialize as well. So, and for initialize we have list box reference default color, okay. So here let's replace the list box reference with initialize. So what it will do, it will refresh the list box as well as refresh the complaint summary. Now FRM, here you can see that the pending, there is no data in pending complaints because we have already resolved the case. And once we will click on resolved complaints, it has started showing the data for the resolved complaint, that was high and total high. Let me close this form and go to the resolve. Like the pending complaints, you can see that there is no data because we have already deleted from here, and this has been updated in the resolved complaints worksheet along with additional column that is resolution summary, case handled by, and case handled on. So this is all about the complaint management system in Excel and VBA. You can download the practice file from the link provided in the description box. You can also visit to our website that is www.TheDataLabs.org to download several tools and trackers. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and if you have any question you can always ask me in comment section. If you have not subscribed our YouTube channel, please do subscribe it and hit the bell icon to get the notification of all upcoming tutorials. If you find this tutorial useful, then please like, share and comment. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.